Today we're talking about a 2011 D. Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $11 million. That's right, you could literally be holding a tiny piece of copper that's worth more than a mansion or a lifetime supply of pizza. And trust me, I'd take the pizza, but this penny is a close second. So what makes this 2011 D. Lincoln penny so valuable? Well, as with all rare coins, it comes down to a mix of error, scarcity, and demand. The specific details of this coin include a unique minting error that makes it an absolute unicorn in the numismatic world. Imagine going to the grocery store paying with cash, and then realizing you just gave away a coin worth more than your car. That's the kind of mistake we're trying to help you avoid here. Now, let me tell you a little personal story. A few years ago, I found an old jar of pennies at my grandma's house. She always told me to check my change because you never know what might be hiding in there. I rolled my eyes, but humored her, and one day, bam, I found a wheat penny worth a couple $100. Was it life-changing? Not exactly, but it was enough to take grandma out for a fancy dinner and win some major brownie points. So moral of the story, check your change, folks. Back to the 2011 D penny. If you happen to have one with this special minting error, it could be your lucky day. Experts say the key things to look for are double die errors or mistruck designs. Sometimes these errors are small and require a magnifying glass to see, but other times they're obvious, like Lincoln looking like he has a twin or the date being slightly smudged. Either way, if you think you have one, get it checked by a professional coin grading service before you accidentally spend it on a pack of gums. So there you have it, a simple penny from 2011 with the Denver Mint mark. Could be the ticket to your financial dreams, or at least a really awesome story to tell at parties. Either way, it's worth taking a few minutes to check your spare change because you never know what might be lurking in those coin jars or couch cushions. If you found this video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more money-making coin tips. And if you've ever found a rare coin yourself, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. Today, we're diving into one of the wildest Lincoln penny finds of all time, the 2008 D Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $8 million. Yep, you heard that right, a single penny worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. Now, before you go flipping over every penny you own, let me tell you exactly what makes this coin so special and how you can tell if you have one lying around. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's break this down. Why on earth would a 2008 D Lincoln penny be worth millions? The answer: errors. Minting mistakes are like typos, but on money, and collectors go absolutely nuts for them. This particular penny is rumored to have a double die error along with a unique off-center strike. Some experts even say there's a mysterious misalignment that gives it a one-of-a-kind look. Think of it like a rare misprint on a baseball card, but instead of a baseball player's face being slightly off, your penny could have an error that sends its value through the roof. Now here's where it gets crazy. One of these rare pennies recently sold at auction for $8 million. That's more money than most people make in a lifetime for a tiny copper coin. Imagine paying for a luxury car or even a private island with something that could have been sitting in your couch cushions. Speaking of couch cushions, let me tell you a little story. So last year, my buddy Greg called me up in a panic. He swore up and down he had found a rare penny in his car cup holder. He was ready to quit his job, book a trip to the Bahamas, and live the high life. Well, turns out his so-called valuable penny was just really shiny. Moral of the story: always double-check your coins, but maybe don't quit your job just yet. So what's the takeaway here? Keep an eye on your pennies, especially those 2008 D Lincoln cents. If you spot one that looks off, take it to a coin expert and get it checked out. Who knows, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? What's the most valuable coin you own? I'd love to hear your stories. We're talking about the 2007 D Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it could buy you a mansion, a supercar, or at least a lifetime supply of tacos. I know what you're thinking. A 2007 penny? That's practically yesterday. But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be double-checking every penny you come across. And stick around because I'll also share a personal story about how I almost missed a valuable coin hiding in plain sight. Spoiler alert, it still haunts me. Alright, so let's break this down. The 2007 D penny was minted in Denver, part of the classic Lincoln Memorial series before the 2009 redesign. Most of these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But there's a rare error variety out there that's so valuable it makes Bitcoin look like spare change. So, why is this coin worth $7 million? One word: errors. But not just any errors. We're talking about a rare misprint so bizarre that collectors are throwing money at it. Some reports suggest that a batch of these pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet, meaning instead of copper-plated zinc, they were accidentally made using a super rare composition. The result? A coin that looks ordinary but is worth a fortune to collectors. If you've got one of these, you're basically holding a tiny piece of treasure in your hands. How can you tell if you have one? Here's where things get interesting. A normal 2007 penny weighs 2.5 grams. But the rare ones? They're heavier. If it's got a slightly different shine, like an old-school copper penny, you might be onto something. Some error coins have unique metal compositions that react differently to magnets. If yours acts weird, don't spend it. Take your coin to a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. A few bucks to certify your coin could lead to a multimillion-dollar payday. My almost tragic coin story. So, a few years ago, I was digging through some loose change, looking for old wheat pennies. I found this weird-looking penny. It felt heavier, had a darker tone, and just seemed different. I thought, meh, probably nothing, and tossed it back into circulation. Fast forward to a month later. I saw an article about a rare penny found in a gas station exactly like the one I had. My heart dropped. I literally had a potential jackpot in my hands, and I let it go for a soda. I've never looked at pocket change the same way again. So what's the lesson here? Check your pennies. The next time you get change from a coffee run, take a closer look. You might be sitting on a fortune. And if you find one of these rare 2007 pennies, you just hit the jackpot. If you love learning about valuable coins and hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. I've got plenty more tips and crazy coin stories coming your way. And hey, before you go, drop a comment. What's the coolest or most valuable coin you've ever found? Let's swap stories. You're digging through your spare change at the gas station, just looking for enough to grab a soda, and bam, you spot a 2006 penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. That little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping $6 million. Yeah, you heard me right. Penny that could change your life. Literally. Stick around because I'm breaking down exactly why this coin is so valuable and how you could find one hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's get into it. The 2060 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver and normally it's worth, well, a cent, but thanks to some incredibly rare minting errors and a collector frenzy, a few of these pennies have skyrocketed in value. The reason? A specific batch was struck on the wrong planchet, giving it an unusual color and texture. Some also have a dramatic doubling effect, making Honest Abe look a little, well, extra honest. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Bob, was casually rolling up some pennies to take to the bank. He's not even a collector, just a guy who hates loose change jingling in his pockets. As he's counting, he notices one penny looks different. He Googles it, does some research, and boom, he realizes he's holding one of these ultra-rare 2060 pennies. Long story short, he cashed in for an amount that made his bank teller's jaw hit the floor. The current market value of this rare penny? A cool $6 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, and still have enough left over to never stress about gas prices again. So, how can you tell if you have one of these golden tickets? Here's what to look for. 2006 with a D below Lincoln's shouldered at IT might have been struck on the wrong planchet. If you notice any doubling or distortion, congrats, you might be holding history in your hands. Get it verified by a professional grading service. Because let's be real, you don't want to think you have $6 million, only to find out it's just a regular penny. That would be awkward. So what are you waiting for? Go dig through your piggy bank, your car's cup holder, that weird junk drawer in your kitchen. You never know where a fortune could be hiding. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm dropping more videos on rare coins that could make you rich, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Now go forth, check your pennies, and may the coin gods be ever in your favor. Have you ever found a penny and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one lucky 2005 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is worth $5 million? Yes, you heard that right. $5 million. Imagine buying a pack of gum with a penny and then realizing you just spent enough to buy a mansion. Stick around because today we're diving into this jaw-dropping coin find, how you can spot one, and the hilarious mistake that led me to start checking every penny I come across. So what makes this 2005 no mint mark penny so valuable? It's all about rarity and errors. Somewhere along the line, A small number of these pennies were struck without a mint mark and with a unique flaw, making them insanely valuable to collectors. But here's the kicker: these pennies were circulating just like any regular penny. Meaning, they could be hiding in your couch cushions, in your car's cup holder, or even in that jar of spare change you've been ignoring for years. I actually have a funny story about this. A couple of years ago, I was at a gas station, and I dropped some change while paying for a snack. The guy behind me says, "Hey, you dropped a penny." And like most people, I shrugged and left it. Fast forward to today, and I'm now the person diving under car seats looking for lost change. Anyway, if you think you have one of these golden, copper tickets, here's what to look for. First, check for the date, 2005. Second, make sure there is no mint mark under the year. Most pennies from this year were made in Denver or Philadelphia, meaning they have a little D or P under the date. But if yours is blank, you might be holding history in your hand. The record-breaking sale of this penny happened recently when a lucky collector cashed in for an eye-popping $5 million. Now, obviously, not every 2005 no-mint mark penny will sell for that much, but if you find one, it's worth getting it checked out by a professional coin grader. So what's the lesson here? Never underestimate a penny. That spare change in your pocket could be your ticket to an early retirement. Start checking your pennies, and who knows? You might just be the next person with a multimillion-dollar find. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post weekly tips on how to spot rare coins, maximize your finds, and even some crazy stories from fellow collectors. And hey, if you've ever had a moment where you found out something seemingly worthless was actually worth a fortune, drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Imagine finding a penny on the ground, tossing it in your pocket, and later realizing it's worth a cool $4 million. Yeah, $4 million. For a penny. Crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 2004 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A tiny piece of change that could change your life. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, let's talk about what makes this little coin so special. The 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like any other copper-colored cent, but it's got a secret. Due to a rare minting error and its limited surviving quantity, collectors are willing to shell out millions for it. Here's the deal. This penny was struck without a mint mark, meaning it wasn't designated for any specific U.S. mint location. Usually, a Philadelphia minted coin wouldn't have a mint mark, but this one has some unique characteristics that set it apart. Some versions of this penny have a doubling effect on the date or Lincoln's profile, making them super rare. Others were struck on the wrong planchet, adding to their value. And then there are those that, for some mysterious reason, became the unicorns of the coin world. Now, I know what you're thinking. $4 million? Really? Yes, really. In fact, one of these pennies recently sold for that mind-blowing amount at an auction. That's the kind of money that makes you reconsider every coin you've ever thrown in a wishing fountain. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, digging through an old coffee can full of pennies. I found a 1943 steel penny, which I thought was my golden ticket. I rushed home, did some research, and, well, turns out it was worth about $2. Not exactly retirement money, but that's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when you're going to hit the jackpot. Someone out there is going to find this $4 million penny, and it might as well be you. So where should you look for one? Check your loose change, those old piggy banks, even your grandparents' coin jars. You never know where a hidden gem could be lurking. And if you do find a 2004 no-mint mark penny, get it checked out by a professional coin grading service, because if it's the real deal, you're set for life. All right, my fellow coin enthusiasts, that's all for today's episode of Penny for Your Thoughts, literally. If you like this video and want more tips on finding rare and valuable coins, hit that subscribe button. Who knows? Your next penny might just make you a millionaire. Stay curious, stay lucky, and happy hunting. Today, we're talking about the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yep, a regular old penny that could make you a millionaire overnight. Grab your magnifying glasses and let's get into it. Alright, so what makes this little copper beauty worth more than a mansion? The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but its value comes from a super rare minting error. It was supposed to have a mint mark, but somehow, It slipped through the cracks at the Philadelphia Mint. And collectors? Oh, they love a good mistake. Now, let's talk numbers. In today's market, this coin is sitting at a mind-blowing $8 million. That's right, 1 cent turning into millions. I don't know about you, but I've spent way too much time looking for loose change in my car's cup holder. And now I have a new reason. And let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was casually sorting through a jar of pennies when he spotted an unusual 1988 Lincoln penny. He thought, probably nothing. But just to be sure, he took it to a coin dealer. Turns out, he was holding a rare variety, worth thousands. Now, did he get the $8 million jackpot? Nope, but that penny alone paid for his vacation to Hawaii. Moral of the story? Always check your change. So how do you know if you've got the golden ticket? First, flip that penny over and take a close look at the lettering near the date. If you've got a 1988 penny with no mint mark and certain subtle design variations, you might be onto something big. If you're not sure, have it checked by a reputable coin expert before you accidentally spend it on a gumball. Alright, coin fam, that's the scoop on the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew a tiny copper coin could be worth millions? Now, do yourself a favor. Start checking those pennies. And if you find a valuable one, you better send me a postcard from your private island. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips on rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket right now. Turn on notifications so you never miss out on another life-changing coin story. Oh, you're digging through your couch cushions for some spare change, and boom, you find a plain old penny. But wait, this penny isn't just any penny. It's worth $8 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $8 million. Now, before you start flipping your sofa upside down, let me tell you exactly what makes this 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special, how to spot one, and why someone would actually pay millions for it. Plus, I'll share a quick story about how I once almost threw away a valuable coin. Big mistake. Alright, grab your pocket change and let's get into it. First things first. What's so special about the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Most pennies minted in Philadelphia in 1986 don't have a mint mark. So, if you're holding one, that's totally normal. But here's the kicker. There's a super rare variety of this coin that was struck on a leftover copper planchet from the pre-1982 era. That's right. It's not the usual zinc-coated penny, it's a full copper coin. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so it's just a copper penny, big deal. But hold on. This coin is a huge deal because it was a total accident that this copper planchet even made it into production in 1986. Only a handful of these have ever been found. Some experts say there could be less than 5 in existence. Collectors go nuts over these types of mistakes. And when rare coins meet competitive bidders, the price goes through the roof. So, how do you know if you have one? Step 1. Grab a 1986 no mint mark penny. Step 2. Weigh it. A normal 1986 penny, made of zinc, weighs 2.5 grams, but the rare copper version weighs 3.11 grams. Step 3. If it's heavier than usual, congratulations, you might just be holding a $1 million mistake. And speaking of mistakes, quick story. A few years ago, I found an old coin in my change jar. It looked kinda weird, but I figured, it's just a penny. I tossed it into a vending machine for a Snickers. Later, I found out that coin could have been worth thousands. Moral of the story? Always check your change before trading it for a snack. Now, let's talk money. Point. One of these 1986 copper pennies recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $8 million. Why? Because wealthy collectors love rare coins, and when two rich people really want something, they bid until someone taps out. Simple as that. So, next time you find a 1986 penny, don't just toss it in a tip jar. Weigh it first. You could be sitting on a literal gold mine. Well, copper mine, technically. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm always on the hunt for the next big coin story, and you don't want to miss out. Now go check your pennies, and if you find one, remember who told you about it. We're diving into the crazy world of rare pennies, what makes this one so special, and how you just might have a hidden fortune sitting in your pocket change. And hey, if you love finding money in unexpected places, hit that subscribe button because we're all about turning small change into big bucks. Alright, let's talk about the 1968 penny and why it could make you richer than your neighbor who just won the lottery. Okay, maybe not that rich, but close. So first things first, what's the deal with the S mint mark? That little letter under the date means this penny was minted in San Francisco. Normally, these pennies aren't super valuable. But, and it's a big but, a rare version of this coin has been graded as one of the finest ever found, making it worth that mind-blowing $8 million. Now you're probably wondering, what makes this penny so special? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and errors. Some of these pennies have sharp, nearly perfect details, which collectors go nuts for. Minting mistakes like doubling or off-center strikes, flawless surfaces. No scratches, no marks. Basically the Beyoncé of pennies, and let's be honest, who wouldn't want to find a penny that could pay off your house, buy you a sports car, and still have money left for tacos? Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, digging through an old jar of pennies. I found one that looked different. My heart started racing. Could it be rare? Could it be worth thousands? I rushed home, grabbed my magnifying glass, checked the mint mark, and it was just a regular penny. Yep, my dreams of instant riches were crushed faster than a soda can at a tailgate party. But hey, that's the thrill of the hunt, right? The point is, you never know what's out there until you check. Conclusion: go grab your loose change. Check that piggy bank, your car cup holder, or even your grandpa's old coin stash. Look for 1968 penny and inspect it closely. If it looks mini fresh, get it checked by a coin expert, because who knows, you might be sitting on millions. And if you enjoyed this, hit that like button so I know you want more rare coin hunting tips. And don't forget, subscribe for more ways to turn your spare change into serious cash. Because, let's be real, we could all use a little extra money for pizza. Today, I've got a wild one for you, the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Hold on to your seats because one of these bad boys has been valued at a staggering $7 million. Yep, you heard that right. $7 million. And to think, some of y'all are still throwing pennies in wishing fountains. Big mistake. So what makes this penny so valuable? Well, let's dive right in. First off, let's talk about why it has no mint mark. Back in 1967, the US Mint was dealing with a coin shortage, so they decided to stop using mint marks on pennies to discourage hoarding. Joke's on them because people still hoarded them anyway. But here's the kicker. Not every 1967 penny is worth millions. The one that hit the jackpot is a rare error coin with a double die obverse, meaning the design was accidentally stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the date and lettering. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, once found an old penny in his dad's junk drawer and got excited. He called me up, saying, "Dude, I think I hit the jackpot." I rushed over with my magnifying glass like a detective solving a mystery, only to find out it was just a regular penny covered in 30 years of pocket lint. Poor Dave. I had to break the news to him gently, but we still had a good laugh about it. The moral of the story? Always check your coins, but maybe don't start spending your millions before you confirm it's the real deal. Alright, so how do you know if you've got a 1967 penny worth millions? Here are a few key things to look for. Look closely at the date and Liberty. If you see a doubling effect, you might be onto something big. This penny should weigh 3.11 grams since it's made of 95% copper. If it's drastically different, it could be a fake or an off-metal strike, which could be valuable in its own right. Condition is king. If your penny is in mint state condition, meaning it looks brand new, the value skyrockets. Coins with scratches and wear are still cool but won't buy you a mansion. Now, here's the fun part. If you think you have this penny, get it graded by a professional. You don't want to be that person who sells $1 million coin for $1 at a garage sale, only to find out years later that you basically gave away a Ferrari for the price of a soda. And hey, even if you don't have the $7 million penny, don't be discouraged. Tons of rare coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight. That's why you should subscribe to the channel. I'll keep bringing you the best tips on spotting coins worth serious money and strategies to turn your collection into a gold mine. Plus, you wouldn't want to miss the next crazy coin story, would you? Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below if you've ever found an interesting coin in your change. Who knows? Maybe your next penny is worth a fortune.